You were made to be ruled. In the end, it will be every man for himself.
Hello, welcome to What the Flick. We've assembled our own dream team here to talk about the Avengers. Which one do you guys want to be?
I'm in green. I have to be the Hulk.
Are you the Hulk? Who do you want to be?
Iron Man, he's rich.
I like it, and I will try to be the sexy chick who speaks Russian. I am Christy, this is Alonso, this is Matt. You're probably wondering where Ben is. Eventually, Ben will come back. That's
Where
are we?
I actually talked to
anyway.
him. He wanted me to tell you guys he will come back someday. He is gallivanting about Europe for pretty much the entire month of May. He hopes to be back in June. Anyway,
Sucks
he
to be
exists.
him.
He exists, and he misses all of this. So, message from Ben. More importantly, though, the Avengers. So much hype. Can anything meet this hype?
Maybe.
Maybe. Do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, so the Avengers. So we've seen Iron Man get a couple of movies, Hulk had a couple of movies, Thor got a movie, Captain America got a movie. Let's put them all in the same movie.
Woo!
Marvel has been building up to this for a couple of years. They've set this up. Expectations are high. They gave it to Joss Whedon to balance all these characters. They end up fighting Loki, Thor's brother. Hilarity and awesomeness ensues.
In 3D.
In 3D.
Take a look.
What do we do?
We get ready. There was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people. So when we needed them, they could fight the battles that we never could.
No offense, but I don't play well with others.
Big man in a suit of armor. Take that away, what are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
So I'm not usually a fan of the 3D, as you guys know. I thought it was kind of beautiful and kind of relevant and just made it more immersive, bigger, fun, bigger, louder, faster, better.
It's well done. I unfortunately saw it in the shitty 3D that I hate.
Oh.
The dark, expand, heavy glasses 3D.
Where did you see it? On the lot?
At the ArcLight.
Oh.
That's where the all media was. I don't know where fancy you got to
I
see it.
saw it on the lot. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so but even with those constraints, yeah, it is attractive 3D, and it's an amazingly entertaining movie that I think pushed my comic book buttons in a way that no comic book movie has done before.
Now, how is that different?
Well, I've always been an Avengers reader, at least when I could afford to buy comics every week, and you know, there's something about that book where they really balance out the conflicting personalities getting on each other's nerves or getting along with each other, and then the let's all get together and kick somebody's ass. And this movie really does that well. There are great Joss Whedon-y scenes of people needling each other and bouncing off each other in a very specific way, or a way that's specific to their personalities. And the fact that they give these superheroes personalities and a reason to be oil and water sometimes, but then also a way to put all that crap aside and like come together for a larger purpose. So it's really exciting and it's really funny, which is what I like best in comics. My favorite Justice League era is the Blue Beetle one. So I had a great time. I think this totally works, and it totally delivers what people would want from an Avengers movie, whether they come in as comic fans or just as people who want to see a bunch of superheroes fight a bunch of big stuff.
Yes? Your thoughts?
I love this movie.
Right.
I think that Joss Whedon had one job, which was to not screw this up. And he's done so much more than that.
I was going to say, he's gone beyond that.
He's gone beyond it. He
Yeah.
actually made a really fantastic movie here. What you said about the personalities is dead on. Like, you see the difference between Captain America, Steve Rogers, and Tony Stark. Like, there's no way that those two guys would get along, right? And Thor kind of just laughs at him. It's a really great tension between the personalities, and you really buy into it. I like the character arc we get with the Black Widow. I think that's really nicely done. I have to say that I think that this is the best movie Hulk we've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, no
I mean,
question.
really, from the second and third act on, I think that the Hulk steals the movie.
I mean, performance-wise or movie-wise?
I think movie-wise.
Because I don't want to slam Eric Bana. And
No, I think
in terms of how he's used in
how
the
he's
film.
used
Right.
and how much fun he is.
And yeah, he is fleshed out more. No,
Yeah,
no pun
he's fleshed
intended.
out more.
But he is fleshed out more here than the other ones are.
Yeah, and maybe it's somewhat because he's a known quantity. quantity as opposed to the other movies, which feel like they have to introduce him somewhat. I felt like they've done a great job with the Hulk here, and maybe the answer is you don't give the Hulk his own movie. You make him a part of an ensemble.
Yeah, part of the team, exactly.
You know, I love that you see the team learn to work together, which I think is really important in this. Like, you don't. I did find that it took a little while to get started because you got to see everybody get brought in.
And everybody has to fight everybody else at some point.
And everybody kind of has to fight.
Which is the comics rule.
Which I was going to say, it's not filler. It absolutely makes sense.
Filler.
You
And
want
at
to
least
see
it's
that.
not an origin story. I mean, that's the thing.
Right.
You know?
I do like that there were no origins in this. I thought that was great.
They just drop you right in.
They just dropped you right in.
But having said that, I think you can not necessarily be a big comics fan and still be immersed and be psyched about it.
Yeah, I don't think you
Right.
need. I mean, I think that if you come into this not knowing a thing about the Avengers and not having seen any of the movies, I'll be surprised that you're actually seeing this movie.
Right.
But
Why are you here?
Why are you here?
Because you got dragged here by your friends.
Right. But that being said, like I think it's mostly accessible. I think that they fill in the blanks what there might be.
Yeah, you could walk into this cold, I think, and it would. There's enough information to sort of, okay, this guy's this guy and this guy, you know. But yeah, I think that you know. It does have little bonuses if you are a comics fan. Like, the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier. You know,
I was going to say, what are the
Yeah.
bonuses? I am not a big comics person. I loved Iron Man. I like a lot of the predecessors here. What are some of the little geeky Easter eggs that I might not have noticed?
Well, there's one that's sort of a
there's
spoiler.
the big one at the
during
end.
the credits,
All right,
so we'll go to that.
sorry. Right.
But stay through the credits.
Yes,
Stay
don't
through the
get
credits.
out. But the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier is
Yeah.
like a big thing in the comics, and I'd never seen it portrayed in one of the films
Okay.
before, and it's pretty visually impressive, I gotta say. And I mean, the effects in general, I think, are really cool, and they are jaw-dropping in a way that effects have not always been in the last few years. I think we've gotten a little jaded with CG and like, well, once anything is possible, then what can you show me that's going to be interesting? But here it was like, oh wow, that's really cool,
Yeah.
you know.
But but the focus isn't on the effects.
No,
right?
no,
The
no,
focus
not
is
at
on the
all.
characters, and I think where the movie really succeeds is that you see these characters not get along at the beginning of the film. You see them struggle to work together, struggle to be stuck with each other, and then by the end of the movie, in the climactic battle scene, you're seeing them work to everyone's strengths. You're
Right.
seeing them work together as a team, and why it makes sense for them to be together.
Yeah,
you know?
he writes it in such a way that the big battle at the end isn't just the requisite big battle at the end of all these action movies, but that it kind of is the fruition of these characters and how they interconnect against the backdrop of New York being attacked by, you know,
Right.
giant things.
Yeah,
So-
the whole area around Grand Central does get tore up pretty good.
My
It
only,
gets blowed up.
my only complaint was that in the 3D, and I saw it at the El Cap in OK 3D,
Okay.
not the, but in that final battle scene, there's way too much shaky cam happening with 3D.
And you are very sensitive
And
to
that's,
that.
I was very sensitive,
Yes.
and it actually started to make me a little ill.
Oh, really? Okay.
And that bothered me. But apart from that, I thought this movie was amazing.
Yeah, I think if you don't know a lot about the comics, the fact that it is so beautifully written and it's so cheeky and it's so breezy and it moves so well, and that's of course all Joss Whedon. Like that will
Right.
allow it to be accessible to a freakishly enormous audience, and it should be. Yeah, I had more fun with just watching Robert Downey Jr. and Mark Ruffalo bounce off each other, and both in a teasing way, but also these are really serious, great actors who can bring gravitas to a really outlandish situation. And those moments, for me, worked beautifully. You know, anything with the Hulk was great. I mean, just all of them making fun of each other was great. I had a
Right.
blast.
I like what they did with Scarlett Johansson and Jeremy Renner in that
was
their
nice.
characters, you know, they're not over the top, they're not really showy, like they're more professional, like, you know, just going about their business. I like kind of that tenseness to them. That really worked for me too.
Should we talk about Loki for a sec, since he is our one and only bad guy? They didn't have a cadre of bad guys. They had one, and it's Loki.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I had only like a few qualms with the movie. One of them was that early on you see Loki conspiring with the aliens for this whole thing that's going to happen, and the alien that he's talking to really looks like a low-budget kid show kind of.
That's actually my only complaint. This is why my score is not perfect, because all that stuff, is it Asgard? I don't know. And the helmet with the horns, it's really,
Yeah, but that's Loki.
Kind of like,
Like, you
but
gotta-
it's like Land of the Lost, though, with like the flea stacks and the little cubes.
But at least they Downey gets a good line off at that expense about the thing, and I forget now what it is. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think you kind of have to. You know, they believe me, they could have gone with like the Hawkeye costume, and you would not have wanted
Right.
that.
Oh,
I think
was it bad? Is Hawkeye bad?
It would
it's
look
kinda
weird in real life.
It would
I
look
think.
weird in this
But
context.
no, I think the Loki horns is forgivable. And if you really want to nitpick in a comic nerd way, in the very first Avengers comic, Loki is the bad guy he's the one who brings the team together in the first place. So
it makes sense.
it all comes around.
No, he gets his in a very, very funny way.
Yes,
It's
I mean, the two funniest.
At least they aren't batting electrical Nick Nolte.
Oh, it could have been worse. Also,
No,
I
the
mentioned
two funniest lines in the movie are involving the Hulk, and I won't give one of them away. But the other one is in the trailers where they're when Captain America's calling out roles to everybody, and he just looks at the Hulk and he's like, Hulk, smash. And he gets that grin, and you're like, here we go.
I was very happy to see a lot of Clark Gregg in this.
Yes.
You know, he and Gwyneth Paltrow have some nice banter with
Yeah.
each other.
I can't believe I'd ever say this. I wanted more Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, she's comfortable in this, finally. And of course, Robert Downey Jr., when he gets great writing, just dominates everything. And he's
Yeah.
hilarious in this, and he's absolutely at his charismatic best here. And so, yeah, kind of great. We all kind of loved it. We should do numbers. Should we do numbers? Matt, Atchity?
9.5, not a 10 because too much shaky cam in 3D.
Okay.
9.2 for the dumb alien and the not very well edited opening sequence, but after that, it's great.
Oh, you think for the beginning wasn't
When the first thing goes down and there's the whole chase and shootout, it was very choppy and I didn't know who was where or why.
I give it a 9 because I do think some of the stuff with Loki in outer space looks really cheesy, but otherwise I had a blast. It is 2.5 hours long. It does not feel like
Right.
it. It's so much fun. It moves beautifully. This is where in Tomato World?
It's 93% right now.
Right. Woe be unto the 3 people who dared not like the Avengers. Our dear friend Amy Nicholson.
Right.
We love you very much,
It's
Amy.
okay to not like the movie. Take it easy on it.
But the summer movie gauntlet has been thrown down.
Yeah, so it's a 9.2 average from us. We loved it. Have fun. I think you're going to have fun. Bye.
Avengers Assemble.